Hello and welcome to the Midgar Press. My name's Jay. So today we're going to cover the monsters in the Adventures book. We've covered all the monsters within the Bestiary, and I mentioned that we would cover the monsters within the Adventures. Because we're still on this whole monster theme, I want to go ahead and get all the monsters covered. We have another 14, okay? We have 14 more monsters. Now, hold that thought because there are other things within the adventure books. There's NPCs, there's more creatures, but there's 14 monsters. We're not going into NPCs, we're not going into, every single thing that you could encounter within the adventures book. We're only covering the monsters because the monsters are where the fun at. Let's be honest, okay? Let's be honest. So, let us begin. And in fact, one of the monsters within this book is right here. I cannot pronounce his first name, but last name is Koth. And he will be the last one that we cover on page 115. So let's go ahead and let's flip through. Let me show you the monsters that we will be getting into. Starting with the Warg Rider. The Warg Rider is essentially a goblin riding a warg, and because they're mounted together, they act as one monster. So 24 HP for one monster. It's both the warg and the goblin. Let's see here. Then we're going to talk about the wargs themselves. Okay, they have their own stat block. They're essentially just like wolves, except they're goblin oriented. So, let's see. Moving on, we've got the Murderous Briars. These are actually a lot of fun. I've actually killed a couple player characters with these. It happens. So, yeah. We'll get into that. Don't worry. We've got the Eel Beast, and I actually had one of these devour a player character. So there's that as well. um, let's see here. You know what? Hold that thought. Hang on one second. Okay, I'm back. I'm back, and I apologize. So as I was about to say that we have the next one, the Eel Beast, and how I said it actually devoured somebody. I had this thought. I was like, wait a second. There was another player that was eaten by another beast that was of similar make, and it wasn't on my list. There's actually 15 monsters in the adventures book, and I forgot one. We've already passed it up. So this is the Eel Beast. Let's go to the White Death. The White Death. It's another sea serpent. But this thing also has eaten a player character. Actually, two player characters, if I might say. Those are stories for another time. But the show must go on. So let's continue on. Well, crap. I didn't write down what page that is. There we are. The Toad. Oh, nice. We have a toad. It's got horns. Kind of reminds me of the Futurama toad because of the eyes. I can't remember what those toads are called. But yeah, we have a toad. Moving on, we have a basilisk. The basilisk, even. And of course, they got the petrifying eye. They do the same stuff as the other basilisk with the TTRPGs, but they have a little, fun thing where they're afraid of chickens. we'll cover that when we get to it. Let's see. We've got the Demon Ix. This is one of a couple demons within Dragonbane. Again, we've already covered how the demons work and whatnot, but there are subtle nuances to the different actual demons within the game. So you'll see that as we go. So this is just the first of a couple demons that are within the game. Next, we have the Bone Shambler, which is just a skeleton that has broken bones. So clever, right? Yeah. We'll cover this another time. Let's go to the Stare. So the Stare is just a I don't know what it is. It doesn't really say. So we'll cover that another time. Then we have the Witch Hound. So it's basically a dog who serves the witch. Clever. Yes, clever. Now we're going to move on to another demon, the Demon. How do you say that? Acre? Acre? I don't know. I'm terrible at pronouncing things, so that's just how life goes, though. Some people are good, some people are not. But that is the second demon we have now seen throughout this adventure book. Let's go ahead and move on because we have another demon. Ka, the fire demon. So far we've had 3 demons, and that's all you get. Because now we're going to move on to the most important one, Koth. Koth is, again, that worshiper, the demon sorcerer, who is basically bringing all the troubles to your party. It is because of Koth that a lot of things are happening, whether it be, certain NPCs within the town of Outskirt keeping tabs on the players and reporting it to Koth. Koth is trying to bring back the, archdemon, demon overlord, Sothmog. We don't have, it doesn't give us like a stat block for Sothmog because there's no reason for us to have a stat block for Sothmog because we don't encounter Sothmog. Now, I would love to see one because it sounds terrifying. I know that as the leader of demons and whatnot, that would be pretty terrifying. But those are the 15 monsters we will be covering in the next several videos. I guess 15 because there's 15, so one per video. But yeah, who's excited? We covered multiple monsters within the Bestiary for the rules book, and now we're going to cover 15 more for that are within the adventures book. Now, what I did, it's over there. I'm not going to grab it. But what I did was I basically took all the monsters and I put them into a single PDF, and I printed it all off. And you all have seen my monster manual of sorts, my bestiary for Dragonbane. And that's what I'm using. I've put it all together into one simple bestiary. That way, and it's all like alphabetical, like A through Z. I can just flip to whatever page and boom, 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 boom. Because, and this is one of the things I like about the book, the core book. Well, it's more of the adventures because that's it's got all the adventures in it. It doesn't include the stat blocks for like generic monsters like giant spider or the wight or the skeleton, or it does not include the generic stats. So you have to have both books to be able to do that. Yes, some would say that is why do that? Because you have two books now. But I personally like it. I think it just makes it a little easier. It's less pages really for the adventures, unless it is a special monster, unless it is a special for some reason, doesn't incorporate into the typical um monster stats and everything like that. Why include it? So I like it. Like I said, I like it. But yeah, I've created a little bestiary monster manual of all the NPCs, of all the monsters, of all the creatures, the common animals, all of them. I put it all into one book. That way I just take it with me and there you go. Good to go. But that is the end of this episode. Next episode, we will talk about the Warg Rider. And as always, I will kind of incorporate a small thing that you could do with, each creature, each monster. Because don't forget, as we go through the monsters within the Adventures book, and even the monsters within the core book, the rule book, I gave you a little scenario that you could potentially use inside the adventure to create random encounters. And that's what I plan on doing with these. I want you all to not only be able to understand the monsters themselves, but I want you to be able to create scenarios, new scenarios for your players. You don't want to run the same thing for the same people. You always want to run new stuff because they're going to get bored. And if you have new stuff, it gives them just a little bit more to entice them. And don't get me wrong, Dragonbane is already enticing. Okay, don't get me wrong, it's already enticing. But as a GM, you can add a little bit more flair. And that's what we're here for, right? We're here for the flair. So, like this video, comment down below. Which ones are you excited to see? I went through 15 different ones. Comment below. Which ones are you excited to see? And of course, share this video. So until next time, my friends, my nerds, my fellow family in other nerd circles, live on and game on.